we initiate, and a lot of times you see a lot of scarecrowing, where I would just stand here and you have a feeder there, the guy just receives it. So we try to make this drill a lot more dynamic, force people to move. A lot of times we get a little, I wouldn't say lazy, but complacent because of the skill level, because we're so confident. So in this drill, we try to make it as dynamic as possible. Get both the feet. There's no feeder, receiver. Everything is tit for tat. Everything is dynamic. So we'll go slow first. We'll demo it first, and then we'll teach. He goes for a stab. If he's coming in, I don't want that. I want that. I'm going for that first cut. You see a lot of the similarities already in motion. So we get a cruzada. You don't want to stop a tank by firing onto his nice, trying to get to his engine because it's far. And you want to defang the snake, take the snake's away, and take the snake's ability away to bite you. So you take that out. As soon as you get that, boom. So you keep the fence. So I'm getting right under there, and also flexors. Right there. So he's not going to be able to hold his leg in. Which sets me up perfectly to nice and tight. And if we really wanted to end this, and I think you can see where in a lot of the entrances on the steps, you can end it quickly as you want to. But for the sake of the drill, and because you have a partner and not an opponent, we get all the flexor tendons. You can go higher if you like. You can go for bicep. You can even go for that. So you can't do that anymore. They can't hold on that finish. Which sets us up. That's the end of one part. Now we reverse that so that both training partners, if you only have an hour, you just drill this in your head. As we go through this, you can take it as Y, just to exaggerate all your movements, or as tight as you want. But as you can tell, make it this dynamic. You don't see this. How are you doing today? Good. Yeah. Want some beer? Yeah. Take me a beer. You try to make this dynamic as possible. The moment he enters, boom, bang, boom. So you make it as dynamic as possible. You see the target. Each partner mirrors the exact first part of the drill into the second part. So both partners can check on each other, and if you smoothen it out or slow it down, cut, 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 cut. Looks very simple. It's basically 10 moves, 10 parts. It's simple. It's not overly complicated. And you see, all of it are cruzadas, or variations of the cruzadas, or a gunting. So the devil is in the details. What's going to be rough with the drill is that if you immediately want to go into the rapid succession, which we all want to. But a lot of times, like all our previous older instructor had said before, get the basics. What are you going to do with that weight? Give that tap. Give that step. Right? Make sure you're out of the way. Guiding that. We're not just touching that and cutting across. Boom. Right? We want to get that nice cut so that that's there. We can end it at that point if we want to. He has no other defense there except, boom, get a cut. If he is, I admit. Cool? So let's try stab, cross, 4 moves. Okay? Cross, check, and cut. 4 moves.
Done.
There. You don't want to step into that, right? You want to female triangle that, right? If you want to see the details, we'll go over that later. But for the moment, it's already a handle. He goes for that cut. Boom. Right? So as soon as he comes back, I get that cut, I get that cut, I get that cut. Okay. So here's the second half. We have all 4 targets. Wrist, elbow, bicep. Okay. So as I guide this, and so you had a question, am I grabbing? I'm never grabbing through this whole drill. It's just quick guide, so I can come back and drill. So a lot of this, again, if you want to break it down to palm up, sometimes to help make it easier to teach, palm up and palm down. Thumbs up. So I pull back on this with my palm this up. But some of you ask, if you have elbow single-sided, you should be able to do the whole drill. So with the double-sided daggers that you have, yes, you can come back this way, but you still should be able to cut as you come on back. This forces you on edge awareness. Because if you're in the kitchen and you have only access to your steak knife or your kitchen knife, what are you going to do? So the drill ends, first part. We have this, we got that. Right? I'm exaggerating so that your partner will have time. You don't want to do this, right? That's for real life. But for training, give your partner enough time. Here's that stab. You see how he orients his blade? Because he's already cut this way. Why flip? Your momentum is already taking you there. Just bring that back up. And he might even bounce that and come back right in there. Boom, right there. It's much harder to deflect that. Boom. And quick anatomy lesson. Everybody always says, oh, it's a kidney shot, right? You always hear that, it's a kidney shot. Where the kidneys actually sit? It's what they call retroperitoneal space. We have your ribs here. That's basically the tenderloin right there. So right underneath there, at that angle, that's where the kidneys sit. You also hear people talk all the time, oh, I'm going to get an aorta shot. The aorta sits next to the spinal cord, deep. So for those of us with extra, you're not going to get an aorta shot up front unless you got a big long area. So realize that it's just some of the anatomical things. When you go to different demos and stuff, realize what we're looking at in terms of anatomy. So realistically here, okay, so I might get what they call pneumothorax. You're gonna put a hole in the lungs, they can't breathe. Also right there, you're gonna go through the liver. Okay, so there's big vascular organs right there. If you're gonna go a little deeper, back in there, okay, you might get a kidney, but you're gonna have to sink it and push it through. Okay, so just anatomically think about those things whenever you go to seminars and